Let's take a look at the thief on the cross. Some people argue that he was not saved. One of the arguments is that, well, Jesus hadn't died yet, so how could he be saved? Let's look into it. In many ways, we were once like him, following in the world system. The two thieves represent the two possible responses, which once made will have eternal consequences. In Matthew 7, verse 13, it says, "Enter by the narrow gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and there are many who go in by it." That one thief was moved by the events as he experienced Jesus' love as Jesus was working in his heart. He was there when Jesus, in Luke 23, verse 34, Jesus says, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do." And then they divided his garments and cast lots. But he was there when Jesus said that. Then skipping on to verse 39, it says, "Then one of the criminals who were hanged blasphemed him, saying, 'If you are the Christ, save yourself and us.' But the other, answering, rebuked him, saying, 'Do you not even fear God, seeing you are under the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we received the due reward for our deeds. But this man has done nothing wrong.'" He saw how the crowd changed, in verse 48, and the whole crowd who came together to that sight, seeing what had been done, beat their breasts and returned. Beat their breasts. That is a sign of grief and remorse, emphasizing the sincerity of the repentance, turning towards God with a humble heart. We look in Luke 18, verse 13, also says, "And the tax collector standing afar off would not so much as raise his eyes to heaven, but beat his breast, saying, 'God, be merciful to me, a sinner.'" So this was the thief's heart posture, a humble heart turning towards God. So as he watched and experienced the earthquake and the darkness, and he saw the centurion's realization of who Jesus was, all this, he acknowledged that he was a sinner, and I believe he came to repentance, and at that point he was saved. So Matthew 27, verse 54 says, "So when the centurion and those with him who were guarding Jesus saw the earthquake and the things that had happened, they feared greatly, saying, 'Truly, this was the Son of God.'" So we go to Mark's account, Mark 15, verse 39. He said, "So when the centurion who stood opposite him saw that he cried out like this and breathed his last, he said, 'Truly, this man was the Son of God.'" So as you can see, Jesus did die before the thief, and then so the thief was able to fall into the new covenant of grace. Keep reading, guys, and ask the Lord to open your eyes to the truth that he would want you to see.